You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio, streaming at KPVM.TV, and now on Roku devices on this Monday, June 22nd, 2026. Good evening, I'm Chris Palermo. Here's what's happening. A man in a wheelchair was struck by a vehicle in Pahrump over the weekend. The driver did remain on the scene, and luckily there were no serious injuries. More in this report.
On Saturday, June 20th, at approximately 9:10 p.m., emergency crews responded to a vehicle versus pedestrian accident in the intersection of Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Mance Road. Deputies say that a man in a wheelchair had been struck by a vehicle. According to deputies, the driver of the Mercedes-Benz remained on scene and fully cooperated with the investigation. Deputies also determined that the driver was not impaired. Medics evaluated the man at the scene before transporting him to Desert View Hospital as a precautionary measure. Officials reported that no serious injuries were sustained as a result of the collision. The intersection was cleared after deputies completed their investigation. At this time, no citations or arrests have been reported. News 25 will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as additional information becomes available.
Brought to you by Pahrump Spine and Wellness. Injured? Call them today. They work with 5 of the best personal injury attorneys in Pahrump. You only have one spine. Take care of it.
More news now. Pahrump Valley High School alumni turned back the clock Friday night as former classmates gathered at Nevada Treasure RV Resort for the Pahrump Valley High School all-class mixer. The event brought together graduates from multiple decades for an evening of food, entertainment, and memories as reunion weekend got underway.
On Friday, June 19th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., approximately 75 Pahrump Valley High School alumni gathered at Nevada Treasures RV Resort for the PVHS All-Class Mixer. The event served as a local kickoff to the weekend dedicated to reconnecting former classmates and celebrating the history of Pahrump Valley High School. Alumni from a variety of graduating classes attended, giving old friends an opportunity to catch up while meeting fellow Trojans from different generations. Guests were welcomed into a venue decorated in the school's maroon and gold colors, creating a nostalgic atmosphere throughout the evening. Attendees enjoyed food, bowling, karaoke, while sharing stories and reminiscing about their years at PVHS. Throughout the night, laughter and conversation filled the room as classmates exchanged memories, talked about where life has taken them, and reconnected with people many have not seen in years. Organizers say the goal was to provide a relaxing environment where alumni could gather without the formality of the traditional reunion. Many attendees praised Nevada Treasures RV Resort as a great location for the mixer. By the end of the night, organizers and guests alike described the evening as a success and a fitting start to a reunion weekend. The celebration continued Saturday evening with the official PVHS all-class reunion at the Tuscany Suites and Casino in Las Vegas, where alumni from across Nevada gathered for dinner, music, dancing, and class photos as the reunion festivities carried on.
Las Vegas Aviators are headed back to the playoffs. Mikey Ruhan has that and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV. And now on Roku devices, the Las Vegas Aces continue to look like one of the WNBA's hottest teams, and right now they're making opponents wish the shot clock would move a little bit faster. Jackie Young scored a game-high 21 points, and Asia Wilson added 19 points and 9 rebounds as the Aces rolled past the Golden State Valkyries 92-73 Sunday at Michelob Ultra Arena. The victory marks Las Vegas' 8th win in its last 9 games and comes just days after the Aces clinched a spot in the Commissioner's Cup Championship. At this rate, the Aces are collecting wins like tourists collect casino rewards cards. The Las Vegas Aviators have officially won the first half of the 10-team Pacific Coast League title and clinched a spot in the 2026 playoffs. It marks the 13th playoff appearance in franchise history and the second straight postseason berth. Las Vegas has captured 3 PCL championships in its history, including last season's title. Speaking of hot streaks, Aviators infielder Joey Meneses was named Pacific Coast League Player of the Week after absolutely terrorizing baseballs at Las Vegas Ballpark. The first baseman hit .550 in 5 games against Round Rock, piling up 11 hits, 2 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 11 RBI, and 10 runs scored. And PWHL Las Vegas continues to build for its inaugural season, signing Natalie Snodgrass to a 1-year Professional Women's Hockey League standard player agreement. The expansion club keeps adding talent at a steady pace. At this point, they're putting together a roster faster than some people can put together IKEA furniture, and with far fewer leftover parts. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. More local stories coming up and your weather forecast for the work week. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo, and thank you for listening to the radio simulcast on Ace Country 103.1. You are in for a treat now because our resident Las Vegas celebrity chef, Alicia Shevitown, is serving up her recipe for a special Sin City pizza. It's deep dish style and easy to make.
Hello and welcome to another segment of Alicia at Home. I'm Alicia Shevitown, chef and cookbook author right here in Southern Nevada. And it's summertime, guys. I am feeling like pizza. I don't know about you, but my favorite type of pizza is deep dish pizza. So I'm going to introduce you today to my Sin City pizza. It starts with just a regular cake pan, and you buy a pound of pizza dough. And all you have to do is get the pizza dough, flatten it out, and run it up the sides so that you get a nice little border. The next step is to place some sliced mozzarella on the bottom, directly on top of the dough. And next, we put in some Italian sausage. I have hot Italian sausage here because I like it a little bit extra spicy. And this is really the core of your deep dish pizza. Next, all we have to do is pour on some crushed tomatoes. Now that's very important. You don't want to take fresh tomatoes or diced tomatoes or anything like that. We need the consistency to be crushed so that we could actually spread the sauce across the top. And I'm going to use an offset spatula just to make sure that I am putting that tomato all the way to the edge of the sausage, but not overlapping the dough. Then we top it with a 1/4 cup of grated Parmigiano Reggiano. You're going to bake this at 450 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until the dough is nice and golden brown and the top is bubbling. You're going to remove it from the oven and make sure to rest it for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, if you see it's a little wet on top, that might have to do with the crushed tomatoes that you chose, or possibly the Italian sausage being a little too greasy. If that's the case, just take some paper towels and dab the top, wait for it to cool completely, and then you can remove it from its pan, and then you're gonna get something that looks just like this. This is my Sin City pizza. Remember to keep it tuned here for more exciting recipes right out of Southern Nevada. This is Alicia at Home, KPVM Channel 25.
Thank you, Chef. We look forward to your next delicious segment. And Josh Osborne from Great Computer Deals in Pahrump, back again with helpful advice to keep you safe online. Today, he's warning us about online scammers.
Hey guys, Josh Osborne here with Pahrump's own Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial. Today we're talking about the top 3 things that you need to do if you've been victimized by an Indian scammer. Number 1, you need to disconnect your computer from the internet. Whatever that device was, You need to get it off the internet. Why? Because when that portal is open, that Indian scammer still has access to everything on your device. So if your computer or device is on Wi-Fi, turn off the Wi-Fi. If you physically plug into your router with the cable, disconnect that cable. If you don't know how to do any of this stuff, just turn off the device. Close down that portal, because when it's still open, they potentially still have access to all the information that's on your computer. That's number one. Number two, you need to change all the passwords for all the internet accounts that you've ever used on that device, such as bank accounts, email accounts, social media accounts, and things like that. Because while they're on your device, if you had any of that information saved, including your usernames and passwords, they have access to those accounts. So you got to change the locks as soon as possible. And while you're at it, go ahead and call your bank or your credit card company or any other financial institutions that you were working with on that computer and let them know exactly what happened to you, because they are aware of these kind of problems that are out there. They can help you. They can put a watch on your account to look for any kind of fraudulent charges that might be coming through. So let them know what's going on. And number three, last but not least, you need to uninstall any remote access software. So you might ask, Josh, what is remote access software? That kind of program, that software is basically a tool that these scammers use to get access to your computer. Unbeknownst to a lot of our customers, they're not these amazing hackers over in India that are gaining access to your device against your will. What they're doing is they're convincing you of a problem that you don't have, claiming to be someone that they're not, and then getting access to your computer with one of these programs. They have you download it for free, and then when it's installed on your computer, they have you read off a code that appears on the screen. And with that code, they use it to gain access to your device and have full control to anything on that computer, just like you would have. Some of the two popular ones that they use are TeamViewer and one called AnyDesk. That's what we see a lot. Now, there's other programs that are out there, so if you don't see those two, search to make sure there's not another substitute that's out there. And I do want to say that these programs that I'm mentioning, they're not fraudulent, bad programs whatsoever. They're literally just a tool that is supposed to be used professionally. It's not in this sense. These guys are using this as a way to scam you. So you got to get rid of that software so they no longer have access to you at all. Now, if all these steps I'm giving you is just completely overwhelming you, you're feeling embarrassed, you're feeling confused on what to do, don't worry. Come into the store. We're located at 1190 East Highway 372. We've seen everything at this point. Come on in. We're more than happy to help you. We can walk you through these steps, see if there's any other steps that need to be taken to make sure that everything is cleaned up and resolved as soon as possible. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Feel free to come in if you need any help. Keep watching because there's more videos to come, and we'll catch you guys on the next quick tutorial.
We've got a health report coming up, and if you experience migraines, you'll want to watch it. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Today's health report is focusing on people that suffer from migraines and how it affects relationships and intimacy. Interesting results in this survey.
Anyone living with migraine knows it is far more than just a headache. Instead, the condition can feel like an unwelcome third wheel on date night, cooling down romance, sabotaging spontaneous getaways, and turning the phrase, "not tonight," from a playful excuse into a painful reality.
Migraine can disrupt plans, intimacy, and communication. Attacks don't just affect the person experiencing them, they can also take a toll on the partners, and that impacts the relationship.
To dig deeper into these challenges, a recent Love and Mind survey explored the specific impacts of migraine on relationships, intimacy, and emotional connections among adults living with the condition.
They also talked about the unpredictability of migraines and how often they feel guilty as a result of it because they don't feel like they're holding their fair share in the relationship. In fact, survey responders, 73% of them said that they felt like they were a burden in the relationship for not being able to do what they called their fair share.
In addition to those feelings of guilt, the survey showed that among respondents in committed relationships, 83% agreed that while their partner or spouse does everything they can to support them during an attack, sometimes that support simply isn't enough to ease the burden. To learn more, visit loveinmind.com.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's a Lerner and Rowe weather cam, and we are looking at the rooftop pool that a weather watcher from the Plaza Hotel at Fremont Street sent in. And it is a beautiful day. The sun is going down in a little bit. Complete forecast coming up.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Hello, Romy here, and it is Majestic Monday. Let's take a look at our surrounding areas. Fernley and Fallon, we're in the high 90s. Carson City, Tonopah, Goldfield in the low 90s. Beatty with a high of 99. Amargosa at 103. Las Vegas at 106. And Death Valley with a high of 113. Currently here in Pahrump, it is 99 degrees. The high today was 101. Winds coming from the southeast at 11 miles per hour. Humidity at 10%. And the sunrise was at 5:26 a.m. And tonight, the sunset will be at 8:04 p.m., humidity at 12%, winds coming from the southeast at 10 miles per hour, and the low will be 72 degrees. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Tuesday we have a high of 105, Wednesday it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 101, Thursday with a high of 102, Friday and Saturday winds will be picking up, Sunday a high of 92, and Monday a high of 94 degrees. And that was the weather. Now back to the desk. Here's Chris.
Thank you very much, Romy. And I want to remind you to keep following us on our Facebook page. News 25 will give you more information and updated information. For example, there has been an Optimum internet outage, and we will keep you updated on that on our Facebook page if you search KPVM News 25. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. The staff, myself, Chris Palermo, make it a great night.